Let's talk about something that is small on a claim form but can be very big for denials, and that is the place of service code, or what we refer to as the POS code. Yes, the POS code. So when you're working in revenue cycle, billing and coding, and you see POS, it means place of service, not the other thing. If you ever wondered why a claim got denied or paid less than expected, it might be because of the place of service code. So today I'm going to break down what is a place of service code, why it's so important, and then also how they play into the role of the CMS 1500 form. So a place of service code is a little 2-digit number that tells the insurance where the service was performed. So place of service 11 is in the office, 21 is inpatient hospital, 24 is ambulatory surgical center. They do play a part in how much a service gets paid, or even if it gets paid, so it is an important thing to know. You can find them if you have the AMA edition of the CPT book. It is right in the front of your book. There is a large listing. It's like one of the first pages there. After that inside flap of your modifiers, you will find the place of service codes for professional claims. And again, professional, we're talking about pro fee, professional fee, provider-based coding, CMS 1500 form, not our UB04 for hospital inpatient. Now, there are other editions, of course, of the CPT book. So the AMA edition I know has them in. PMIC CPT Plus edition, I did also find them in the very beginning of the book, but when I looked in like the Optum edition, which was I think the Optum Expert, they didn't have them. So depending on if you have a different edition of the CPT book, they might be located somewhere else, or they may not even have them at all. But don't worry, because you can find listings online. They're on the CMS website. You could probably just go into Google and type in place of service codes and find a listing really easily that way. A lot of electronic medical records, you as a coder may not even see them. You're just putting in the codes and it might auto-populate, but it is really important that you at least understand the role that they play in the billing process. So the place of service code goes on box 24B of the CMS 1500 form. So for example, if a provider sees a patient in the office, you're going to enter place of service 11 there. And if you enter the wrong one, it could be a denial or even a reduction in payment. So it's something that's very easily overlooked. And actually, it's because sometimes they're so automatically programmed, it might be hard to find that there is a denial or that there's a reduction in payment and find out that that is the cause of it, unless you do a really deep dive. Because if you bill for a procedure in a place of service that's not covered by insurance, it will end in a denial. So for example, if you have a 99213, that's an outpatient office visit, so it should be billed in place of service 11. But if you start billing it in 21, which is the inpatient hospital, it doesn't make sense. It's going to be a mismatch. And there's certain services that obviously insurances are only going to pay in certain places of service. There are complicated surgeries that they're like, this has to be an inpatient admit, and if you bill it accidentally under like telehealth or something, it's going to cause a denial. So always double check that setting where it was performed. Make sure that you are staying up to date on the changes, because we've even seen in the past couple of years, there's been some updates to things like telehealth services, audio only services, what we determine as the place of service based off of like where patient may be located versus where provider is located. And we have payer differences. So there might be some fluctuations based off of the payer requirements or different policy changes. And double check the claim form, because sometimes you'll put it in a certain way and there might be some sort of edit or charge scrubber in the system that will change it. And when you go and look at what claim form actually looked like when it went out to the insurance, you'll see that there was a change. And even if you're like, hey, I'm a coder, I'm just worried about the ICD-10-CM, the CPT, and the HCPCS codes, like I don't pick place of service, that gets selected automatically. It's still important that you know that little piece of the puzzle, because coders do oftentimes get called into, especially if you're a higher level coder, the denials, things that are denied for different reasons. And if you're looking at something and someone's like, hey, this says it was denied via coding, and you go in and you look and you're like, oh, actually, it was the wrong place of service, and it was because of this setting in the system, like you're gonna look super, super smart that you figured that out. And I've even known coders that they get a little bit bored of coding after a while and they want to get more into the aspects of working with the electronic medical record. They go and get Epic certified, and it's really beneficial if you dive into that aspect of the revenue cycle and in healthcare, if you know a little bit, like enough to be dangerous, of all of the different pieces and how they come into play. When I was a coding supervisor, I actually sat in some meetings where we were like lamenting over what place of service certain things that we were doing like out in the community got billed under. So I hope this helped explain just a little bit about place of service codes. If it did, definitely let me know in the comments, or if you want me to do like a deeper dive on place of service codes, I can either try to do that or bring someone in, because I will fully admit that I am not the place of service billing expert, but I can certainly point you in the right direction. Also, I will link below where you can find all the place of service codes on the CMS website in case you have one of the editions of the book that they do not have them already in. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I will see you guys in the next video. And until then, just keep on coding on.